Good morning. Let's see how many people show up this morning. Sunrises are getting earlier and earlier, so I think most people are going to be watching this one on the replay, but that's okay. I'm glad to have you whenever I have you here. So last week we talked a little bit about constructive criticism, and it was based off of a class that I teach that came about because people who were giving reviews to their employees were having problems giving constructive criticism. The good things were easy, to say, hey, you did this well, but saying the tough things was hard. And they needed a method to do it. So I came up with this method called SPORT, and we call it being a good sport. And it applies to people in the workplace, but it really also applies to, life too. I mean, your children, your coworkers, your friends, anybody. I mean, constructive criticism is difficult to give to any of these people. And so it starts with, it's an acronym, SPORT. And it starts with sugar, the S. So you have to do all of these elements in order, and it has to have all 5 elements. They all have to be there in order for it to work. So sugar is that you always start with something nice. So I'm going to use the example of your kids coming home late at night. They're not meeting their curfew. And so if you want to talk to them about this and you don't want them to get all defensive, because that's what teenagers do, you want to start with something nice first. Like, hey, I'm really glad that you have a lot of friends and that you spend time with them and you care about them. And that I really admire that about you, that you always do the best for your friends. Now they're listening, they're receptive, right? Because you've given them something nice, something good about them. And then you do the problem, the P. But you have been coming home late. Your curfew is 10. You've been coming in regularly at 10:30 p.m. Now I've stated the problem very clearly. And then O is the outcome. So why does that matter? Like, what's that do? So because you've been coming home late, I'm staying up late and I have to go to work the next day and I'm tired and I don't want to stay up late for you and I'm worried about you when you're not coming home on time. And then you give the resolution, which is R. And you say, so obviously the 10 o'clock time is not working for you. Do you have a suggestion? Make it a discussion. What is your resolution for me not having to stay up late at night? And maybe you can have this thing, they come back and they say, hey, I can meet the 10 p.m. most days, but Fridays are really hard because we do this, this, and this with my friends. And it would be nice if I could come home at 10:30. I'm going to lose connection here sometimes. Connection has been very difficult lately. So on Fridays, I'm going to come home a little bit later, but I can come home at 10. I can come home at 9:30 on the rest of the nights. So now we've got this great resolution because of a discussion and because they were open and receptive to hearing it. And then you do a timeline and you say, hey, we're having some problems with connectivity today. We'll see. This is the 3rd week in a row we've had a problem with this, but so the timeline, let's see if we can finish this up. The timeline is, when do you check back? What are the milestones to checking back? So you could say, hey, let's try this for a month. Let's see how it works for both of us. And let's check back in a month with each other and see how it's working for both of us. So sport. Give them the sugar. State the problem, the P. The outcome. What is that problem causing? R for resolution. What is your solution? And that's a discussion. You come up with that together. All right, I really apologize. I'm having a heck of a time with connectivity today. I'll tell you what, since I think this is a pretty important one, I will do a live interview later today where I'm up in the house where I can actually give all these little elements in case they didn't all come across. And in the meantime, I'm going to let you guys watch the sunrise until the connectivity disappears. So, or maybe before then. We'll see if it lasts now. Now that we don't need it, it's going to last. But here comes the sun. So, hope everybody has a great day. Thanks for joining in despite all of our connectivity issues today. Hope everybody has a great day. And I appreciate you guys being here with me so early in the morning. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you, and see you soon.